Yo, what is going on, Steeler Nation? Welcome to episode 408 of the Steel Factory podcast. My name is Rion. I'm joined by my co-host Junior today.
What's up? What's up?
All right, let's bring on week 3. We're going into our Steelers Chargers preview. We'll go into some score predictions, talk about stuff that's come up throughout the week, injury report, stuff like that, and basically the state of the NFL going into week 3. Because it's never too early to look at the AFC North big picture. You know what I mean?
Nah, dude, especially when you're at the top, it's pretty easy.
Pretty much. I mean, the Steelers usually are contenders, at least to get into the playoffs, but real contenders are obviously winning their division, and we're looking pretty good so far, especially when the Bengals and Ravens start off 0-2, and you saw that one stat that teams that start off 0-2, what are their chances of making the playoffs?
I think it's like, I
Was
think
it
it's
5?
45%. Oh no, it might be 5%.
5%, right?
I think if you're 1-1, your chances are 45%, which makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
50-50 basically. But yeah, it's closer to 5% if you're 0-2.
Now, the Bengals are a team that have started like 0-2 and still have got in, right? But Burrow's a more than capable quarterback. Better situation a couple years ago when they had Higgins, Chase, and Boyd actually playing, right? But take into account that both are 0-2. What are the chances that both make it at this point? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you look down the Ravens' schedule these next few weeks, and it's kind of tough, right? I think they have like the Bills, Cowboys. I think they're the Bengals again. Or well, they always play the Bengals.
Let me see.
Bills for sure, and Bengals. I think that's coming up.
Yeah. Oh, Cowboys, Bills, Bengals, Commanders, and then Buccaneers look pretty legit.
They do. Did they win that game over the Lions?
Yeah, they did.
All right. Well, we knew we were gonna have to really, I guess, be on pace to start this year, knowing how kind of easier our schedule is, and then how bad the back half is. Which honestly, I don't think is that bad when you take into account that we are really good against our division. Just recently, we never really have a losing record against them. So yeah, feeling good, right?
Oh yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. It's and then you're getting a little bit more optimistic about like our quarterback situation by the day.
Right. You see I don't want to call them Twitter analysts because there's some legit guys out there that also work at ESPN or NFL Network that are kind of breaking down that Fields looks a lot better than he did on the Bears, basically, right? Even though kind of has less of a cast. I don't know. Pickens, Freiermuth, Najee. These guys are solid guys, but he's not working with like a DJ Moore. Who else did they have a receiver?
I don't think Fields ever really had a cast around him. Probably until maybe it was really just DJ Moore and Kmet, I think. But I think Fields here has probably around a similar tier of cast as he did with the Bears. I think if what's a kind of a crazy stat if you look at like George Pickens like receiving yards and the rest of the Steelers receiving yards, I think George Pickens has like 150, 160 something, and then our next two guys are like at 16 and like 15.
Yeah, it's bad. Like I don't think they have more than 50 combined, and that's with like I think Freiermuth actually doesn't account for that. Because he's actually gotten decent targets. But, we assumed he'd be the number 2 at this point, right?
That's just the receiver room. So that's just to show, like we don't have anybody behind Pickens right now.
Yeah, Van Jefferson, Calvin Austin are not.
They're not cutting it. I think getting Roman Wilson back is gonna, it's looking like he's practicing and he's moving well. I was just watching, some videos, right? It's like 10-second clips of him running like a route with like no pads, but he looked good. So maybe we get him back soon, and I think he could fill in a very important kind of role in a dink and dunk kind of offense.
Yeah, I definitely think our receiver room right now, as we stand going into week 3, with Roman Wilson, I think coming back this week. I don't know. I've kind of seen that he might be available to go, but I think our receiver room will look a lot different at the trade deadline as well. I'm assuming Wilson gets going, and then we're kind of in a spot to probably make a move at receiver. I'm not saying getting a big name. I think we kind of ended our last episode of this, but I do think there should be some names circling around. It'll be fun to kind of get into that because receiver is kind of a good skill position guy. That could really kind of set you up to the edge. And if we're gonna really make some noise this year, like we didn't think we would, but if we're the Steelers, we're obviously gonna try to get into the playoffs. And I think the goal this year is just get that playoff win. That's kind of that we've been looking for like in the last 8 years. And I'm hoping to see us kind of go all in on that. And I think that's what we really did by just getting Fields and Russ. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, for sure. And I think, look, I think if we're like 6-3 at the trade deadline,
That's at Halloween, so yeah, it would be like 8 games in.
or the trade deadline is Tuesday after week 9. Okay. Yeah, so if we're like 6-3, or maybe we're 5-3, something. If we're looking really promising, I would look for us to make moves to put us over the top. There's gonna be some disgruntled wide receivers. It could be, let's say the Bears don't do anything. It could be DJ Moore. It could be, who knows? Who knows? There's always guys out there. I don't know if it's gonna be a name as big as Devontae Adams, right? Especially if the Raiders keep kind of chugging along and winning games like they just did. But I would look for us to make a move if we're looking really promising, just to put us over the edge and get that first playoff win in what feels like a decade.
Yeah, no, it's a good point. And then I think it also bring up the fact that I guess I don't know if it's true or not, but you definitely saw reports this week after Tua getting injured that the Dolphins have asked the Steelers about Russell Wilson. I don't know if they've actually have, or it's just people kind of just like throwing it out there. Would you? I mean, I guess that's a good thing. That's one thing to consider too. Maybe you can move Wilson to try to get that receiver piece also as well, or you just get another draft pick that you could also use to get a receiver up in here.
Yeah, I don't know if the Dolphins are the best team to do that with. Like they don't really, but besides Waddle, and they're not trading Tyreek. I don't think they're gonna move on from any other receivers. They don't really have anyone we'd want anyway after them. But if Wilson is like, you know what, like I'm feeling good, and we're kind of dead set on Fields at that point, because if you're fucking 5-2 with Fields or 5-3, you're not moving off of Fields. Like this is it.
Yeah.
Like you're just gonna stick to your guns and ride it out, even if it's just a season and we don't do anything with him next year. I could see Russ asking for a trade. Russ is a consummate professional. Like on the surface and from the looks of it, I think he's gonna be very, very like ultimate team player. Like he's that kind of guy, right? But I could definitely see him asking for a trade just to showcase like his talents. Let's say some other QB goes down and they
it doesn't have to be the Dolphins into another quarterback could go down.
Yeah, it's a long season. Things happen, and backup quarterbacks are as important as ever, if not more so. But no, I think we're in an interesting spot. I think we're looking better than we thought we would. Even though we thought we would go 2-0, like it's still like, oh wait a minute, like we're a little bit more legit.
And it's how legit the defense is. I mean, we have only scored 1 touchdown, but if you actually watch the games, it looks a lot better. It looks a lot cleaner. You're assuming the run game's gonna get going. Did you see that one stat during the game? They showed that Najee's basically rushing yards per game just increases by like 10 yards as each month goes on. So he starts around like 50 or 60 in September, and by December he's hitting almost 100 or at least 90, which is crazy. So that'll get going. Not worried about that. I think also, if you look at it now, Najee's actually had a better September than previous years. But yeah, I do think this week is a big turning point because we do have a chance to go 3-0 first and foremost, and then we actually play a pretty decent team, another team that's also 2-0. And the Chargers, they're kind of having a bounce back season as well. You saw them go 5-12 last year, fired the head coach. They lost Justin Herbert for at least like the second half of last year, who's injured again too. I think he's had an ankle. Don't think he practiced yesterday on Wednesday. But yeah, you got Jim Harbaugh. I mean, the guy everywhere he's gone, he's won. You know what I mean? When he was with the Niners, they got to a Super Bowl. When he was at Stanford, I'm pretty sure they were good. And then Michigan, they just won the national championship last year. So the guy could coach, and I wouldn't be surprised if the Chargers really kind of turned it around this year. But at the end of the day, dude, they have the Chiefs in their division, so it's just so hard to win that.
Yeah. I think the Chargers are definitely going to start getting better. I don't know if this year's like in a way like a rebuilding year, kind of getting away from what they've been doing the last couple of years and rebuilding the team around the philosophy of like Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah.
And obviously, like, it's a good one. He's a winner, right? So I think like Justin Herbert's obviously like a great quarterback, and I'd kill to have a quarterback like him on the Steelers. If he's not playing, obviously, dude, that makes it so much easier for us.
Right.
We'll see though. It's not like his game is super reliant on athleticism. He's more of like just a super accurate passer that puts it wherever he wants.
Yeah.
But he can still move. But obviously, it's not like his game, right? I I think the Chargers are going to be really good, maybe next year, or at least in 2 years once they get a couple like wide receivers under their belt. Like they're gonna start really looking good as they build up that line, build up that receiver room. Get like the offensive system down,
Yeah.
and then it'll fall apart just like it
Typical
always does.
Chargers fashion, or what?
Yeah.
But yeah, we bring up the receivers, and I do think that's gonna be a really big help on our part. I mean, the stats have shown for themselves. Obviously, Joey Porter, he'll always follow their number one. Don't think the Chargers have a number one. He might be the only team they might be the only team that has a worse receiver room than us at this point. Because it's Quentin Johnston. Remember him going into the draft? We were not high on him at all, and they ended up taking him number one, our first in the first round. And I can't name another receiver on their team besides him.
They have Josh Palmer.
Okay.
He's nothing special. Yeah, I don't know. I think Josh Palmer's a little banged up too, but he's also nothing special. Like he's a wide receiver 3. Yep.
No. Yeah, but like you said, they have a quarterback like Herbert. He can get the ball to these guys. It's just all on them. But like I was saying, our cornerbacks have been huge these first couple weeks. So look at the stats of Dante Jackson and of course Joey Porter all last year. He was a lockdown shadow, their number one. But yeah, Dante Jackson has apparently been a really pleasant surprise. You saw Corey Trice step in and get that pick last week too. But it's just good to know that our corners have looked really good, because historically the Steelers, their defense has always flown through their front seven, through the linebackers. So the cornerbacks shouldn't have their hands full, and let's just hope that the pass rush gets to Herbert. And I do think they have some studs on that O-line, actually, on the tackles specifically. Yeah, Watt's gonna have a decent test. I think he's gonna be up against the rookie Joe Alt, which we'll see how that goes.
Dude, Joe Alt apparently has been a freaking beast.
He's been good.
He's gotten the toughest assignments the last 2 weeks, and he's done really, really well against them. I also wanted to mention I wanted to mention it on Monday's show. Dude, Elliott's legit.
The safety. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if we brought him up, but he's legit.
Yeah. He got one of the picks again this week, right?
Yeah.
The one that ended, I think.
Yeah, I think
at the end of the game. Yeah, and he got a pick against the Falcons. Yeah, we picked off the quarterback twice in the first 2 weeks. Twice each. Yeah, the secondary looks good. Also too, I did not know this until a week ago. We still have DeMonte Casey. So we can still throw out that like 3 safety look, which is good. If need be, there's a lot of good quarterbacks that can throw the ball. Gotta have this the secondary fortified. Also a good depth piece as well. So yeah, Deshaun Elliott, Minka. We love our corners. Feeling good about Watt. You love Patrick Queen and Peyton Wilson also out there. Landon Roberts has been solid. Yeah, overall, the defense is clicking. You know what I mean? And I really hope they could stay healthy, because they could seriously be on a historic pace as of right now.
Oh yeah, definitely. We're looking our defense is it's looking like the most optimistic outcome of
Right.
what we thought could happen is happening, and it's crazy.
Yeah, man. But yeah, we could flip to the other side of the ball. Our offense against their defense. What are you thinking? Do they still have Derwin James at safety?
I think so. I mean, their defense is good. They have Khalil Mack and the other Bosa brother, um, and both of them are putting up some good numbers. Khalil Mack seems to be back in like I don't know if he's at his peak again, where he was like worth 2 firsts, but I think he's looking like he's back. You know, like oh, okay, like you're actually an impact player again. Where I feel like he's been a little bit forgotten the last
Yeah,
couple of years.
yeah,
Um, so again, our line has looked a little uh porous. You know, there's lots of holes. Like
for injured.
99 last,
Yeah,
yeah, like 99 last week. He was getting after Fields all game.
yeah,
He was moving all over the line too. He was like so. We just didn't have any answers for him, and I'm scared that we might not have any answers again for Bosa and Khalil Mack. We'll see how they hold up. I mean, Frazier's obviously like he's like a contender for Rookie of the Year. That's how well he's playing center, right? But we still need Fontenot
yeah.
to. Was he playing last week, or
You,
he was like rotating in
remember?
and out,
Well,
right?
he got the start, and then they tried to rotate with Broderick. Broderick had the drive where he had like 3 penalties, and then Broderick was like, honestly, if I ain't starting, I don't think I was gonna play. So it was like, what the fuck's going on? It was a whole mess, and then they just went back to Fatanu after the fact. I think he finished the game. But yeah, Sam, I was getting close to being healthy as well. I mean, the O line isn't fully healthy, so that's kind of okay. I'll give you guys a pass. You get Sayamalu back in there, Fantanu at right, and then we'll see how long, because Tomlin did say that he'll give Broderick another shot, and now people are starting to get worried that he could have drafted a bust, and it's because it's on the Steelers for not developing him properly, making him play both right and left when he should really kind of just stick to his natural position. At the same time, too, I saw pictures at the game. This dude's basically in a bionic arm.
Yeah. And if you go to like the easiest answer being he's injured and he's out of position because our line is injured everywhere,
No, it's because they
right?
want to start Dan Moore at left. They don't want to give Broderick a shot yet.
I don't know if that's the dude.
Is
Watching like
Denmore's PFF grade though? It's
he
not
got
that bad.
wrecked. He was not good. No, he was
He's
not
not.
good.
He never has been good. But I'm just saying these first 2 weeks, he hasn't given the Steelers a reason to bench him.
I mean, I don't know about that, but I was watching some Fields tape, you know, and I just kept looking at Dan Moore, and every time he just kept losing. He kept like that's where the pressure was coming from.
From 99,
But
was he on
anyway,
Broderick's side? Or was
yeah,
that
when
up the
99
middle?
was on Dan Moore, he got wrecked, dude. It was
We've been waiting for Dan Moore to finally ride the pine, as they say. Get Broderick in there. Hopefully, I don't know, man. I really hope he had injury out of position. Finally get him on left, some way through the year, sometime through the year, and then yeah, man. Ready for Fields again. Looks like it's gonna be Fields again. They're saying Russ just isn't ready. I don't know, dude.
I was watching videos of Russ in practice. He's not moving at all. You know, like he's got no pads on. He's just kind of like standing around throwing the ball, dude. Like that guy. I either I look like a dumbass and like that was just like him warming up or like throwing catch or playing catch or something. But like he did not look ready to go. He did not look like he was ready to be moving.
Fuck. I mean, I can't be worried. We're 2-0, and I've liked what I've seen from Fields so far. I'm not gonna say impressed with what I've seen from Fields so far because we knew him as this crazy athlete. He had a good arm, but I'm just happy that he's able to play Tomlin style offense as of right now, and eventually we'll kind of see things open up, right? Eventually.
I don't know. I think Fields is really winning me over. I'm really leaning towards him being the guy at least for the season.
Right. Yeah.
Look, I think we all know Russ is a 1-year rental at best. Um, Everyone was saying that last year, like he was completely cooked, and like even the Sean Payton revitalization tour was not doing it for anybody. So I just looking at Fields, looking at the plays he's making, looking at the throws he's making, his decision making is still not as quick as I'd like it. There's plays where like no one's open and he's holding onto the ball for too long and he takes sacks when he could probably be getting 4 or 5 yards.
Yeah, he could.
Um,
He's taking some sacks. Yeah.
yeah, but at the end of the day, he's shown that like he's got a hell of an arm, dude. Like he's throwing dots like down the sideline on the run, 30, 40 yards down. And obviously like I think the potential's there. And it's enough for me to want to just ride the Fields wave.
No, I'm ready for it too, dude. I'm looking forward, us getting into October, November, and yeah, things are opening up for Fields. You're not seeing us, only take shots here and there like we have been. I'm looking forward to seeing more than 20 pass attempts, which we've basically seen these first 2 weeks. I like what I've seen when he throws it and he airs it downfield. Would like to see him run the ball a little bit more. Not from like design quarterback draws, you know what I mean? Which I think we've seen a couple times. I want to see him take off with the ball, after the first two reads aren't there, just kind of run. You know what I mean? Get those 8 yards, try to get that first down. Stuff like that excites me. Yeah, but yeah, right now I'm happy with him eliminating those losing plays, whether if it means taking a sack, so be it. I know fumbles sometimes have been an issue as well, especially when you're kind of just what's it called, maneuvering the pocket, scrambling, stuff like that. Shit like that could happen. Protect the football. Because right now our defense is taking us places we thought we could go.
Oh yeah. No, I do we just gotta like we're looking like a team. We're looking like the version of a team that lets the defense take over and win the games.
Yeah,
Like if there's a textbook on like how to win games in the NFL and there's like different archetypes for teams, the defensive team that scores the points it needs to and doesn't make mistakes on offense and doesn't let any points happen, we're in there. We're the prime example of that, and that's what you want to be.
definitely. Um, yeah. Well, with that being said, though, anything else you want to get into before we get into these score predictions?
No, I feel good.
All right, let's run it right here, right now. Week 3, Steelers versus Chargers. Score predictions. Let's go. You first.
Damn, what's the over under? Was it like 34.5?
It was like 35.5. I checked yesterday.
Okay, 35.
It's us minus like 1.5. Also, last time I checked as well.
I guess I'm gonna take the under again.
Right in that under, huh?
I want to say like 2013,
20.
maybe 16 if the over under is 36.5.
That's what's
20.
funny. It's because like our score predictions these first couple weeks have been like over under is 36 now. Our score predictions these past couple weeks have been like so low. But yeah, anyways, what were you saying again? What's yours?
I'd probably say 2016, 2013.
2016, 2013. Okay. I'm gonna go a little bit lower than that. I'm gonna go 17, 15. Something a little awkward like that. I think they're gonna try to go for like a 2-point conversion in there. Yeah, 17-15 Steelers. I think that's under as well. But yeah, looking forward to it, man. Home opener, man. I'm hoping I could get some content out there. I'll be at the game. Looking forward to it, man. Yeah, these first couple weeks being on the road has kind of sucked, man. And I'm really looking forward to getting back in the Heinz Field. It's gonna be fucking awesome. But yeah, guys, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Any closing thoughts, dude?
I would bet on another interception from our defense. That's a nice one.
Oh, I'm gonna look into that. I might look into a defensive touchdown too.
hey, especially if they haven't said anything about Herbert, our odds might be like plus 300 right now for a defensive interception. And if they take Herbert out, they might move down to like plus 250. You got to get the best odds.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Leave a rating on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, wherever you're tuning into. Yeah, here we go, Steelers. Peace out.